do cars, poorly at that. But yeah. So we're just out here filming the review for you guys. Can't wait for you to see it. We've got an absolutely gorgeous backdrop for the review part of the segment. Ahmed's getting to drive the car and really enjoy it. And we can't wait for you to see what it is. And honestly, it's going so... What? Yeah. Yeah. I think we need to get a double of it though. Just, you know, there could be issues with the camera or something. Honestly? Yeah. Just do it one more time. Okay guys, welcome back. Welcome to not even welcome back, but welcome to our first review together at least.
Yes.
And
our second review in total.
In total.
Yeah.
But the best one because I'm in it.
And this one is different than the previous one.
Because we get to drive it. Okay, I think that's drive it. But we've got a full review coming.
If
shortly.
by now you don't know, it's the 718 Cayman GTS.
Yes, because we've not used that enough. It's not been all over social media and we've not got 2 vlogs out of it. Well, here it is. Porsche Cayman GTS 718 model. Here we go.
Let's go. Get in. Let's go.
God damn it, Ahmed, open the damn car. No, I'm joking. You make me sick.
Get in. So,
okay.
Porsche 2018.
2019 this model.
2019 718.
718 Cayman GTS.
And black.
Triple black on black with
black interior.
Red contrast stitching, red seat belts and red
dial. But
red
not
handle.
the red chrono clock. Which is something that you will get if you checked in the tech box of a GTS. So you get the chrono package, which is hence the chrono clock. You get the mode dial for sport and normal. You have the sport suspension, you have the sport exhaust, and what do you have on the outside?
Well, you've got a series of extra black packs, so you have things just highlighted black. Essentially.
You have the wheels, you have the lights, and you have the front and back lights, obviously.
Yes, as well as part of the rear, the front bumper.
Yes.
So this Cayman GTS has Boxer, which is a flat 4 turbocharged engine.
Yes.
And it creates 365 brake horsepower. Has
309
foot-pound of torque.
Yes.
But with a PDK, it has 317 foot-pounds of torque.
And you actually do feel all of these horses and pounds.
Yes, you certainly do. This car has excited and changed our minds about what we perceive the Cayman to be completely. The power that this thing puts on the road is astonishing. It's
0 to 60 or 0 to 100 kilometers, since we are in Bahrain, is claimed to be.
Claimed 3.9, but Porsche well known to be conservative with their numbers.
So we actually feel it's a bit faster, but we don't have a V-Box to precisely give you the exact timing.
So I've actually, this is something that might not be liked, what I'll say. I've got a lot of experience in a Ferrari, a 360. And honestly, this is usable power and feels faster on day-to-day times. You don't get me wrong, you don't feel as special. I mean, it's a Ferrari at the end of the day, that's what they deal in. But this car is so much more usable. Putting the power on the road goes, so do you want to launch me 3 foot into the Panamera in Porsche Day. So we were very kindly lent this car by Bahani Bahrain, and it was all worked out with a brilliant team, and especially the marketing manager Taha and
John Ross, the marketing executive.
And we give a big thank you to you guys, and of course to Porsche Bahrain, to Porsche themselves for trusting us with this car,
making this possible,
making it all possible,
and giving you guys a glimpse into the 2019 Cayman 718 GTS. I know I flipped the name around, but
you're ruining this review, Ahmed.
Deal with it.
You've completely ruined it. I would just turn it off now. I'm so sorry.
But
you make me sick.
In case you're still tuning in, what do you have to say about the ride of the car? I mean, how many inches with the GTS you have the difference in height?
The difference in height, and I'm going to do this in centimeters because, you know,
okay,
almighty centimeter.
Yes.
This ride height on this, because it comes with a sports suspension, is actually 10 mil or 1 full centimeter lower than the regular Cayman and Cayman S. It also holds 15 brake horsepower more than the other model, which might sound like a small number, but really when you're trying the car, it's I never feel I'm lacking. And we don't have the experience with the 718 Cayman S to be able to say any different.
Exactly. But I mean, going to that exhaust note, to the engine noise, yes, I know it's not a flat six, it's not a boxer engine. It is a boxer engine, but it's not a flat six boxer engine, it's a flat four boxer engine. Turbocharged, but I think it has bigger turbos than the S.
It's a single turbo.
Okay.
And it's got a larger turbo, and you're right. Ahmed, have you ever felt like you need more power from this thing?
So far, honestly, no, because I drive a V8, okay, and it has similar power, 370, but that car is big. So having roughly around the same amount of horsepower in a smaller chassis, a smaller body, and a lighter one, honestly, I don't think would wish more power. I think anything more than this would just make it ludicrous. Like, you won't be able to control the car, or you will feel that.
That's the thing. With the GT4 that's coming, that's been announced.
Yes.
What is that going to be like? Because just experiencing it and being around and near it it's an incredible driver's car. It was described in 2017 as I believe it was the second best car that was revealed or announced.
So I'm thinking for the GT4, it's mostly for track use. Like, see, if you're not going to the track that much, I would reckon you would be fine with the GTS to enjoy day-to-day driving and everything. Don't get me wrong, the GT4, you will be able to daily drive it and everything, but
yes,
if you are aiming to go for track days and track the car and enjoy the experience, you can take both, but the GT4 will give you that more, let's say, flat six boxer engine power and basically raw power you will get from it.
So even though this car, it's truly bulletproof, we haven't found something that it's okay. You're not going to get a full family in here, obviously.
You can get a TV in here.
You can't get a TV in here. Not a big one anyway. But this car, you can track it, you can daily it. It's got plenty of storage, yes, and the storage capacity, it's not small. You've got the front trunk, or the frunk. You've got the rear trunk, or just basic parcel shelf. Yes. But there's plenty of room, and you know, I've got a glove box here. The glove box is huge. Huge when you compare it to the rest of the car, and it's more than enough. It's a good daily car. Again, with this storage, there's quite a lot of space.
Yes, especially.
We've got the front trunk, or the frunk.
Yes.
And I'm sure Ahmed will have wonderfully put the stats next to you, and if not, we can both stare at Ahmed quite menacingly, because why haven't you done your job?
They're gonna be over here somewhere.
They'll be over there somewhere, please. Then we've got the rear parcel shelf, which also counts as a boot.
Yes.
Sort of.
We have that because this is not a rear engine car like a 911. It's more of a mid-engine car.
It is.
just
So the
because-
engine is placed just in front of the rear wheels, which makes it
exactly of the
what
rear
we would-
axle.
Yes. So what we would call rear mid-engined car,
Exactly.
technically. Even though it sounds like I've just made that up on the spot, which I might actually have. So, going on, we've got plenty of storage places. We've got cubbies here and there,
Two
door bins, cup
Door bins
holders.
that I just discovered.
Door
I just
bins
discovered
that-
the door bin.
Literally just discovered. And we're always discovering something about this
Yes.
car. And I mean, we've been, you know, it was quite gracious of us to have it for the weekend, but you know, next time maybe the full week.
So continuing with the spec on this car actually in
Yes.
particular.
So this car is quite a high spec car, and like we said, triple black. But looking into the inside, we've got full carbon going across the dash, around the gear stick, and again, like I said, the dash. You've got full touchscreen infotainment system. We've got, which Ahmed can now lovingly show you with his hand modelling. Come on, Ahmed, hand model. Yes, look at it. Yeah, no, you gotta. Come on. It's
We have a lovely steering wheel
yes,
over here.
but not just a lovely steering wheel. It's the GT steering wheel.
Yes.
So without the buttons, lightweight, and of course the sports style. It's nice to see you've got it in Sports Plus. So
Yes.
So,
now
that's right,
the
the car.
manual has-
so overall, it's a it's a fantastic car. So the origins of this car. The origins of this car come from the Boxster, and the Boxster named because of the Boxer engine inside. Now, a Boxer engine, if we've not already explained, is basically just a flat engine style, so that is it the valves
The
and
pistons are going literally like a boxer.
Yes.
In both directions.
Yes.
At the same time.
Boxer engine. Okay, so the Cayman has its roots in the Boxster. They're both based 90% off the same kinds of works, just one of them is a drop top and one of them obviously is a coupe. Now the original Boxster came out in 1996 and it was launched to be a replacement for the failing 944, which was again became the 968, and the 928, which was underperforming. So when the Boxster came out in 1996, it was a massive financial success. It was a car that was far more affordable for those who wanted a Porsche and a drop top at that. It was in the second generation that launched in 2005 that the Cayman was released, and it was released alongside the second generation of Boxster and was basically the same car, but hearsay they say with slightly more power, slightly more rigidity, so better at handling, and a hard roof, if you hadn't noticed. So it was the third generation came out in 2016, and the 718 was a revision of that. And in Porsche standard and style, it's always been about evolution. The models they've had today have been around for years now. The Cayenne is almost now 2003. We're coming up to even 20 years for that, and almost 30 years in obviously 6 years for the or 7 years for the Boxster. That will be 30 years old. Porsche has always been the evolution, and at this point, because we've both tried previous Caymans, and we've never been impressed. But the way this thing handles, the way this thing drives, it's immense. There's no words that we can really
Not really.
put to it. It was just such a shock to the system. This car does things that neither of us were expecting. When we were given the opportunity, we were thrilled, but we weren't expecting much, to be honest. We thought, it's a Cayman, and you thought that, I thought that.
Definitely, I thought it's just the same experience that I had with the previous Caymans. Like, I mean, yes, the GTS will be, you know, the more higher spec, more more powerful. But I wasn't expecting it to be that different from any other Cayman. But I mean, come on, half of the the time I'm not listening to you. I'm just enjoying the sounds.
And honestly, I mean, at this point, I'm just enjoying being here. We took the car to my father. My father's, you know, he's a lot older than us, has had a lot more experience with different cars.
We had him in the passenger seat, you know, experiencing the car with us. And what did he say about it?
He said that it performs like a Ferrari, essentially. He said, yes, you don't get the same feeling from it. When you're in a Ferrari, you know you're in a Ferrari. But this is the closest he's ever felt to it.
And this is from a 50,000 BD car. Ferrari is how much? At least the Portofino, you're gonna go up to, starting off as 90,000 BD.
And that's...
if not more.
Exactly.
And don't get me wrong, I love Ferraris like no other. I love Porsche. I love pretty much all cars. But it's all about your budget and what do you want and what are you expecting from the car, which will determine which car you're going for. So for a certain budget, for let's say 50k, this is one of the best options out there to have an enjoyable driving experience and just enjoy the car. And you can track it also at the same time.
Just like Ahmed said, this is really in a range of its own. You're getting, you know, 10-year-old Ferrari numbers, 15-year-old Ferrari numbers, excuse me, for a third of the budget. In today's money, I would say.
Yes.
And when you drive this, you never get the sense that you need more, that you want more.
You're never bored in this car.
No, never bored.
The moment we are in the car, I don't think I played the radio, and even if the radio is on, I would just switch it off because I'm just enjoying all of these sounds. I'm enjoying, and it's a game in GTS. It's not a V12. It's not a, you know, it's not a V6 even. But out of that flat 4, you have so much going on your day-to-day, you know, driving that you're really enjoying the drive from point A to point B, and that's what it is about.
This car, there's always been a lot to be said about the turbocharged engine, and when everybody was going over, oh no, the cars are going to be turbocharged, the cars have to be downsized, every car fan was, you know, truly upset and gutted, and you more so.
I'm more of a naturally aspirated engine kind of guy, so.
But after this drive, do you still feel the same?
Not really, honestly. I mean,
there are points that we've been in this car, and
I was looking for the turbo lag,
the turbo spooling up, and it just adds to the excitement of the whole.
Exactly.
You know,
I mean, don't get me wrong.
Event of driving a car.
I still love naturally aspirated engines, and I would still love to have a GT3 RS naturally aspirated.
Mm-hmm.
But still, this car has its own character.
Yes.
It has its own feel to it.
Yes. And I have to point out that its character is not defined by its turbo. The turbo is just, at this point, it's an added extra. We've experienced no turbo lag. The only thing that we have truly experienced is enjoying the noise, the cool off, everything. It's made this more, every time we've got into this car, it's been more of an event. And from how low you sit, how easy it is to drive, how sporty it is, the noise it makes. It truly is an event, and it's something that you can enjoy day to day, because this is...
It's a daily driver.
It is a daily driving, and I say something, this is essentially a baby supercar that you can daily. Would you disagree with that?
No, not at all.
Because you're sat low, you've got the engine at the back, you've got these beautiful arches that, you know, you find in almost every supercar, purely because it's for track placement. And this thing, I'm gonna put money on that this is an incredible performance machine on the track.
It is, and I bet it will be. I mean, we can't wait to go and track this car. The next event that Bahbahani has, Porsche Bahrain has, we're definitely being there. And if this car is there,
Please invite us.
we will bring you that. We will bring you how does it feel around the track, because I think for that money to take a car like this and track it, you will definitely enjoy it.
100%. And I want to go. Please invite me. Don't invite him. Everybody's watching for me. driving in Bahrain is always a challenge, but it is very, very fun in this thing.
You enjoy the little details. You enjoy
do.
the little, you know, it's just, I don't
Getting
have a
there.
word for it.
It's every journey, whether it's point A or to point B, you're enjoying every little bit. The noise, the acceleration, the handling. This is, honestly, probably one of the best brand new cars I've driven. And for the money, perhaps one of the, if I was to recommend somebody a car that, and they like cars and they want to feel the car, they want to feel the road, they want to drive, they want a good noise,
They want the experience.
they want an experience, I would recommend them this car. And I don't know about you, Ahmed.
Definitely, I would recommend. I'm already having friends contacting me, asking me how does it feel, how does the Cayman GTS feel.
Yes.
And I have people actually thinking still the same old way, that the Cayman is on a 911. You don't feel the 911 feeling.
No.
I don't want a Cayman, but honestly, go to Bahbahani, go to Porsche Center Bahrain and ask them for a test drive
Yes.
and experience it for yourself to see it will change the way you think about it.
We do also have to mention, we don't have to mention of course, but we want to mention that this incredible car in this beautiful spec is actually for sale. It is the demo car.
I mentioned that before, but it's worth mentioning.
I think it's in the
over here
vlog,
again. Yes.
but this car is for sale, and some lucky guy or girl is going to get this to drive every day. And I'm kind of jealous. I mean,
it's an awesome machine.
it is, and that is exactly what it is. It makes you feel special. We've had people in here who aren't fans of cars, that don't know left from right essentially. But what they do know is that this thing makes you feel good. You feel good. What was said is
people cancelling their plans just to take a ride in this car, in the passenger seat even, just to experience it, just from hearing the
Yes.
car starting up. And once they did, they're like, that's something else.
yes.
Why am I coming this way?
I don't know.
have no idea.
I'm making the trip longer. The engine noise on this Boxer engine is. We've heard a lot of people make complaints about it.
Yes.
It is indeed a coarse engine noise. It is only coming from a 2.5 litre Boxer 4. So, when you consider the noise that it's making, not only just considering it because it's a smaller engine, but this is. I really enjoy the noise.
Me too. I'm surprised by the noise and the grunt to it and the way it feels. It feels deep. It resonates, and obviously it's inside the car because the engine is right behind you. But you can feel that power, even though it's a 2.5 liter flat 4. You can feel the engine grunt. You can feel that you're
100%.
driving something. It's not something silent. It's not something docile.
Yes. No, this engine it's raw, and it is honestly it's quite visceral. Don't get me wrong, it's no Aventador, but for what it is and the speed at which it moves is incredible. And we're never feeling like, oh, I wish it was just that bit faster, or I wish it could just do a bit more, because this honestly does more than enough.
More than enough. And this is where I go back to the point that we've driven multiple cars, that the moment you drive in a slouch, the moment you go into, you know, a car that doesn't feel right, it doesn't accelerate well, it doesn't give you the power when you want it, you would immediately be able to tell. Okay.
Yes.
Obviously, we haven't driven the GT3 RS, for example. We haven't driven GT2 RS. We cannot compare this car to those. But coming in from the experience of driving, you know, the Caymans before, driving V8s, driving, you know, older models of Ferrari, you do have a sense of power delivery.
Yes.
You know, if the car is failing to deliver the
Yes.
power, immediately you will pick it up.
This car is far different. Everything is
Exactly.
instant. We don't really feel any turbo lag.
We haven't actually felt any turbo lag. Apart from something that me and Louis are arguing about, is that from a standing still, there is no launch control, nothing. We're just standing still and just we're putting our foot down.
Mhm.
There is that. It
Pause.
feels like it's building up because it reaches to 3,000 RPM and then it leaves. Now, why is that? Because the car is inching forward. It's not still. Because in a, let's say, what do you call it? In a launch control, you would see it holding the rev. So it's literally holding the rev at, let's say, for example, 4,000 RPM, and it's there. And then the moment you lift off the brake,
Yeah.
it's gone. There is no launch control because this is just literally your
that's-
foot down on the
You're answering your own question.
accelerator.
It does become a case of we're not launching the car.
It's an
and
automated.
It's
one.
it's how an engine would normally perform. It's not expecting a get-go from the beginning, and it's quite weird to say that, but it is building up to something, because an engine does, you know, it is a fast responsive engine.
Yes.
Don't get me wrong, it is
Definitely
incredibly
is.
responsive. It's normal in these kinds of cars, what I found. From all the Cayennes I've driven, the Panamera I've driven, it's always foot down, one, gone. And the Panamera, the Cayenne I've driven, have all been naturally aspirated.
Because right now I won't be going that fast, literally maybe up until 50 kilometers or whatnot. But the moment I put my foot down, okay, if you will show the camera over here, the moment I'm going to put my foot down, you will see that it's not moving. If you just go higher up, so you will see that the car is not moving until 3,000 RPMs, that's what we're talking about. So then the car moves.
But can you really say that that was a long period of time?
No. It's few milliseconds. It's literally few milliseconds until the car moves. It's just that thing. It's somewhat similar
Well,
to a launch control.
That's the difference between the responsiveness of an electricity. You get instant torque, where a petrol engine or a diesel engine has to build up the torque. That's all that is.
Clarifying things out for the viewers and me.
And you, the more you learn.
Our thoughts on the
So yes, to
718.
recap, final thoughts. Well, we'll start with the fact that the obvious things. We'll review it as a car to begin with. As a car, don't get me wrong, it's enough for two people if you're normal human size. But it is comfortable even, you know, at 12 foot tall and 12 foot wide.
And you have all of the creature comfort that you are
Completely.
looking for in any other car. You have the touchscreen, you have the sound system. It's actually a Bose sound system.
After personally listening to the sound system and trying it out myself, I have to say it's potentially, I don't know whether it's because it's such a small enclosed space, but it is a very good sound system. The infotainment system, as we've shown you, is incredibly easy to use. It's intuitive, and it doesn't take a PhD to understand.
Not really.
I mean, I can do it. So, as a car, you know, the ride, it's comfortable, keeping in mind that it is a sports car, or as I like to really say it, it's like a mini supercar.
Exactly.
Well, after this drive, I
It's
think you
comfortable,
can
and-
get our feeling that it is a mini supercar. It's not just a sports car. The engine layout, the way it performs, the way it sounds is incredible.
Everything about it is just astonishing. And I find myself not listening to the radio most of the time. I don't think I even listen to the sound system, honestly. It's more of, I like the noise of the car. If anybody would let me in, that would be great. So it's just a practical daily user, and I have all of my things at the front, I have things at the back, so
Yes.
it's actually really practical.
It's got the front trunk, the frunk, and it's quite large. At the moment, it's got a spare tyre in.
That is
but-
actually a surprise. I always thought they are running on run flats and there wouldn't be any spare tires.
Well, this is the thing. There just seems to be so much storage room, which is so surprising for a car of this type. You've got the front trunk, which is fairly large. You've got the rear trunk. You've got the rear parcel shelf, which is honestly huge. You've got plenty of indoor storage, which we've shown. But when you're in a car like this, do you really care about the storage? The fact that you can fit your phone in here or hide it here,
You
or put it there.
wouldn't care about the storage, but
honestly.
you would want some place to put your phones, to put your keys. If
But overall, you don't buy this kind of car for its storage space or its practicality. You buy this kind of car for the way it makes you feel. Correct?
For the fun, for the enjoyment, for going from
yeah.
A to B with maximum pleasure.
Yes, and this really does do it. This car truly makes you smile. This car, although it might not have the V6 it used to, it might not have a V8, it might not obviously have the V12.
This is plenty for this car.
For this car, it sounds to start absolutely fantastic, like we've said. It might be coarse, but it burbles, it bangs, and it pops at just the right times.
Just right now.
And it's, honestly, I'm not bored of it, are you?
I'm not bored. I'll be sad actually returning this car to Porsche.
And so will I. I think that just the noise of this car is worth the money alone. Yes, with the GTS you are getting the sports exhaust included. You can turn it on or off as you please. Obviously it's louder in Sports Plus, which you're in now.
Yes.
Louder in Sports, but it does have the capability that you can daily drive it. You can turn it down. If you've got a headache, you can go home in peace and quiet.
Exactly. And if you need to, for example, have a burst of excitement, you can always press the sports response button. That will give you 20 seconds to overtake someone, enjoy it for 20 seconds, and then continue.
All within the reasonable speed limit.
Yeah, within the reasonable street limits, obviously.
This car, with its flat 4 boxer engine, with its turbocharger, you never felt like you're needing more. There's never a moment that we've gone, I couldn't overtake that car because I didn't have enough. Exactly. I wish this car would go faster because it's not enough. That turbo is perfect. That engine, it does the job.
It's perfect. And how many people who sat on the passenger seat, we literally changed their mind about the car?
Take this one, Porsche Bahrain, we might have got you a few buyers.
A lot of people who actually sat on the passenger seat, and most of them, they were reluctant to come and see the Cayman GTS because they are just thinking it's another Cayman. Like, I don't want the Cayman, I don't want to try it, I don't want to feel the Cayman. It's a Cayman, it's still the 911. I wanted to check the 911. But when we take them for a ride just around the block and they feel that engine, they feel the noise, they feel the power that's actually lurking inside this car. It's literally a sleeper car. Their world's upside down. Literally their world turns upside down because their expectation and their anticipation is far less than what this car is capable of.
Not just their anticipation and what they expected. What we expected, we truly were never expecting to have, honestly, this kind of monster. And that's what really it is. It's raw. It might not be, as...
Might not be a GT3, it might not be a 911.
Yes, but it is something.
It has so much power.
It's got its own soul. It's special.
Yes.
The gearbox is absolutely flawless.
Fantastic. I mean,
this dual clutch system will just popping up, popping down.
That's
it
going
can do
down
so much.
It's amazing. I mean,
but we can't really stress enough the power that this thing has.
You have no moment of lack of power. At any given point, no turbo lag, no lack of power. Any given time, any moment, you press on the gas and the car just goes.
Now, 365 brake horsepower might not sound a lot, but the simple fact that it only weighs 1,375 kilos with the PDK model, the manual model does weigh 10 kilos more. It does propel this thing, and even 0 to 60 time according to Porsche, which is always incredibly conservative, is only 3.9 seconds. Realistically, it's probably
a bit faster.
A lot faster than that from what we've experienced. Perhaps 3.3, 3.5.
No, I would say 3.5, 3.6 to be on the safe side, because literally we have no way of measuring it. Yeah. But I would reckon 3.5, 3.6 easily.
But this is the thing. We've not been launching this car. We've not truly been seeing what this is completely capable. We've not tracked this car. So honestly, I would say,
actually one of the things that I was waiting for is to experience a GT3, and it's 3.3 seconds cleaned by Porsche. speed. And after this, I cannot even imagine how that car is gonna feel like. And the new 911, the 992, 0 to 100 in what? 3.5 seconds?
Yes. Claim 3.5
I was
seconds.
thinking like, okay, I want to experience that, but after this, and this is claimed to be 3.9 seconds.
Definitely.
I mean, that car is just gonna be a blast.
It's going to be incredible, and we are really looking forward to driving it after this.
Yes.
But everything from this car, from the way it drives, the way it handles, is completely. It's amazing. It's a Porsche. That's what they're known for at the end of the day. But the placement of this car, it's so easy. It's got a smaller body than most big supercars, so placement is so much easier. You've got the large flares where the wheels are, so you know every time where you're placing the car. You know where it's going to be, and you know that you can always stick to that same mark every time. Somebody's enjoying the car.
I'm gonna be sad.
Yep, it's going to be a sad day and it has to go back.
I'll be sad.
If I will allow it to go back, I might just stay in here. If you can remove me, then you can have the car back.
So, wait for us in our next review.
Yes, stay
and the
tuned.
next car.
Don't forget to subscribe.
To subscribe,
Yeah,
turn on the notification bell, comment your thoughts about the Cayman GTS, and if you have experienced it or not, or if you want to experience it.
please do.
Down below.
It's really worth it.
And until next time, just drive.